How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today. I want to first off start by saying I apologize if there is a glare on my glasses if you are watching the podcast. I just got new glasses for the first time since 2022, so just trying to see how they look, and it looks a whole lot nicer than they did from a couple years ago. But without that, today we're going to be talking and breaking down the top Kansas City Chief performers from Week 2 against the Philadelphia Eagles, according to PFF in their grade scales. Now, you might remember me doing this last week about the offensive line and discussing how they played, whether it was good or bad. I made a strong point for each of them in giving you their PFF ratings and how that they have progressed as players. This week, though, there is a whole lot on the line when it comes to the defensive side of the football for the Kansas City Chiefs in PFF grades. Because if you guys were watching that game, we know that the offense did not have much success in explosiveness. Patrick Mahomes seemingly had to do almost everything, both passing the football and running the football. Both running backs in Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt have yet to kind of make a splash, and it's been seen on the offense, which shows and proves why the PFF grade is how it is for the Kansas City Chiefs. I apologize for this. There we go. There you guys go. But yeah, so without further ado, here we go. Here are the top performers, according to Pro Football Focus, from the Kansas City Chiefs defeat against the Philadelphia Eagles. First off, with an overall grade of an 84.7, which is very good. That's always a grade that you cannot be shy of. Anything in my mind, anything if over an 80 is always worth celebrating. And that's from cornerback Jalen Watson. Jalen Watson, ladies and gentlemen, he had a terrific game. He tied for the most total tackles in the game with 9. He had 2 solo tackles as well. He was just a dominant force on that defense for Kansas City, something that they needed, especially going up against this Philadelphia Eagles team that embarrassed them mightily. Now, I understand that they still lost, but the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs really did step up, and at the end of the day, it was the offense that was left in the dust, unfortunately. This could have been a winnable game. The defense surely made their case and claim to it as easily as they could. Second, also on the defense, second highest overall rated Kansas City Chiefs in Pro Football Focus's eyes from the second week of the campaign was Chamari Connor, 81.2. The safety had a good game as well, ranking as the second best defender. Excuse me. He, similar to Jalen Watson, he had led the Chiefs with the most total tackles with 9, 3 solo tackles. He even had a quarterback hit. Chamari Connor, thus far through the season, in 2 games, he's looked really good. The former fourth-round pick. He has 19 total tackles, 10 solos, 9 assists, 1 forced fumble, a half stuff, and now a quarterback hit. This guy, the Chiefs needs their defensive contributors to step up, and there you go. You've got 2 guys, both on the defensive side, helping out with this Chiefs cause in order to help them win. They still got to find their way into the win category. They face off against the New York the New York Giants in week 3. Be sure you follow Kansas City Chiefs on SI. We will make sure to give you the most up-to-date coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to want to miss it. Continuing on with the PFF grades, the top 3, Brian Cook, 79.5. He was another guy that you couldn't keep your eyes away from. He had 4 solo tackles, 1 pass defended, and crucial moments too. He stepped up, showing his worth as a veteran defender on this team. Falling out of the top 3, but still within the top 5, is linebacker Drew Tranquill. He had a 70.6 overall grade in a game that I thought he did pretty well in. He could have had a few more stops here and there, but I'm not unimpressed with how Drew has played the first 2 games for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Against the Eagles, he had 6 total tackles, and 4 of them were solos. Number 5, the 5th best player for the Kansas City Chiefs, is no other, and the only of the top 5 for the Kansas City Chiefs is quarterback Patrick Mahomes with an overall grade of a 70.1. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got to keep in mind that Patrick Mahomes, he was doing a whole lot that game, trying his best to keep and find a way to get this Kansas City Chiefs offense up and rolling. There's a lot of obvious needs. There's a hole missing without Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. There's a whole lot riding on Mahomes to pull out magic play after magic play with his legs, because the running back room thus far hasn't proven themselves. In that game against the Philadelphia Eagles, Patrick Mahomes once again led the rushing game with 66 yards, 7 carries. He even scored a touchdown. He averaged 9.4 yards per run, per carry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that Patrick Mahomes shouldn't be doing. I understand that he is a terrific quarterback and he has the abilities to do this. However, a running back is a running back for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that both Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, just to name a few, should be stepping up. They both average less than 4 yards per carry. Patrick Mahomes, though, he also had 187 passing yards, 16 completions, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And the offensive line, though, they did their job compared to how the last time Patrick Mahomes faced off against the Philadelphia Eagles. He was only taken down twice rather than 6 times, though he did have to evade a lot of areas. Could have been a lot more efficient in his passing. I think that Patrick Mahomes understands that without certain players on the offensive side of the football, things are going to get a little difficult for him. But with that being said, those are your top 5 PFF grades from the Kansas City Chiefs Week 2 affair against the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me know what you think. As always, you should follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any Kansas City Chief coverage, as we've got more coming your way. Updates about Week 3 and especially Xavier Worthy and his timeline to return. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI, where we post and repost every day articles, analysts, podcasts, you name it. Kansas City Chiefs on SI is the place to get your Kansas City Chiefs content and news. That being said, as always, my name's Dominic Minchella. Be kind to one another, and I will see you tomorrow.